Hey, what's up guys? QCY here. Today, we're back on Cosmic Prisons. Now, today's video is a little bit different. Oh, I'm still on access to this, so. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, anyway. Today's going to be a little bit of a different video, because today we're not doing PvP. We're not looking at a cell defense, which, I mean, there's this thing, but I'll show you guys in another video. It'll probably be next video where I show off the new cell defense. But yeah, anyway, today we're going to be looking at the combination of the flippin' turkey mask and Famine 3. Now, if you guys don't know, Famine 3 has always been like, nobody actually likes it, which honestly I would agree up until Malnourished was added. Now with the turkey mask, Famine 3, and the Malnourished bow, it can make for some quite insane combinations and team strategies, in my opinion. Now, for like a solo player like yours truly, like myself, it probably won't do too much. But if you're in a team fight, which I'll explain in a second here, you guys might realize as well that it can actually be really strong. Now, it takes a little bit of dedication of a team, and you gotta kind of need everybody to pitch into this, but I'll show you guys about that in a second. So now I just want to show you guys a clip that I got of testing with Toddy and Ginger when we were testing out what happens if you hit somebody with a Famine 3 sword. I was using Toddy was using this sword, I think, or maybe it was Ginger. I don't know. Somebody was hitting me with the Famine 3 sword. Keep in mind that these items don't even have lucky on them, okay? They don't even have lucky for. Basically, this is what happened. Okay. So when I say one,
Ginger, you're fat.
Oh, you guys are impossible to work with. Absolutely impossible.
We're just having fun, QC God.
Okay, so when I say Ginger's gonna start shooting me, and then like a second later you're gonna start hitting me with the sword, okay, Tony?
Wait, so I'm hitting you at the same time Ginger is?
Yeah. He's shooting me with the bow. So when I say go, okay? So I'm gonna slash
Did
E.
I just keep hitting you after the one?
Yeah, just keep swinging until I'm at like 1 health, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that knockback is mega weird. Oh my god, I can't even eat.
Bro.
Well, this is fun. Okay, you can stop now. Stop! Before I flip and die! So as you can see, I was basically forced to literally just hold down right click, and I couldn't eat fast enough. Like, my hunger was going down that fast. Now, realistically, somebody's not just standing in a corner and just letting them get bow spammed, right? That usually doesn't happen. But the way I see this being used, if somebody actually wants to use it, is, well, first of all, let's say there was a 16v16 at KOF, okay? There was 16 people on the enemy team, 16 people on your team. You would get 14 of your people, or well, I guess everybody would put Famine 3 on their axes, okay? Like, I've started putting Famine 3 on my axes, just cause. But yeah, anyways. But yeah, I've been putting Famine 3 on my weapons, just because, well, yeah, Famine's kind of insane, especially with the turkey mask, because it's basically a double Famine enchant, right? Even though these things don't even have lucky on them, which after they do, it's probably going to be insane. But yeah, anyway, basically, if you guys don't know, Malnourished, when you hit somebody with a Malnourished proc, it literally sets their saturation to 0. So if you guys don't know, when you eat a item in Cosmic Prisons, it always fills up your hunger bar. But the extra hunger on top of it, which is called your saturation, which for the golden carrot, it gives you 60 saturation on top of your already filled hunger bar. Now when somebody gets hit with Malnourished, they get like an 8-second hunger thing, but their whole saturation bar of extra hunger also gets removed, so you instantly get set down in there. But the thing with Famine is it just removes a certain amount of like actual hunger on top of that, so it just removes saturation, but that will also go through these ones as well. So if somebody gets malnourished and then they start getting famined, they're going to start losing hunger quickly, and they're going to be forced to eat, which basically is what happened in that thing. There was malnourished hits, and then the famine started coming in, which basically just, like, their saturation got set to 0 after they ate 60 saturation, and then they got hit with the famine, which would just keep taking down their hunger, if that makes sense. So how I see this used is 16 people right, on one team, if they want to use this strategy, they get 16 people with the Famine of 3 enchant, right? And 2 of those 16 people will have a malnourished 3 bow at cough. I mean, if you can get everybody with it, it's honestly kind of nice. But how I see this being used is, let's say this area is the middle of cough, right? These chests here. So how I see this being used is somebody with the 2 guys with the malnourished bows might stay a little bit far away from cough, shooting in towards the middle, right? And now, considering if you're in a 14v16 fight on the middle of cough, it's pretty hard to miss somebody with a bow shot, okay? Like, I used to just mess around just shooting bows into the middle, like before malnourished was a thing. It's pretty difficult to miss, okay? And your teammates don't block arrows, so don't even worry about that. I think they just like go right through them, so it works out. You can just shoot in, and chances are it'll hit an enemy. You just have to have a little bit of common sense where you're aiming, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyways, so basically what this is going to do, it's going to force all of the enemy team to have to eat like once every 20 seconds, if not less, you know what I'm saying? If you have 2 people shooting in, like obviously you won't hit the same person a bunch of times, right? It'll hit every person a few times, but then they'll be getting famine down, and they'll be forced to eat, let's say you can shoot an arrow shot every, I don't know, like every 1 second, right? If you're like... So yeah, so every time you're shooting in there, you're basically forcing somebody to eat about every 20 seconds-ish. Let's go with that number. So if they're eating every 20 seconds, it takes about 2 seconds to eat a golden carrot around. So they're basically spending 2 seconds every 20 seconds eating a golden carrot. Now, obviously, that is quite a bit. That's not even counting the famine, like the famine enchant. Like the famine enchant, if you have 14 people with it, literally... like, they'll be losing so much hunger, it's not even funny. Like, I was testing with the turkey mask and the famine enchant, without even having lucky, like, it procs, like, literally 25% of the time when hitting somebody, if not more. Like, I've gone with famine and just, like, it literally can proc, like, 10 times in, like, 20 hits. It's kind of insane. Especially, yeah, when you have the turkey mask and the famine enchant. Now, obviously, I don't think everybody's going to have a turkey mask, but I highly suggest getting one. They're only like 40 mil right now, so it's not like huge expensive. I think I have 2 of them right now, just because I bought them. And you know, they'll probably go up after this video. That kind of helps me, I guess. But yeah, anyway, what was I even saying? I forget where I was at. But yeah, basically forces people to eat a lot of golden carrots, and they're spending about 10% of their time while they're fighting just eating golden carrots, where people can stack up frenzy on them. They basically can't hit back. They're basically useless for 10% of the time just for having a famine 3 enchant and this turkey mask and having like 2 guys bow. You know what I'm saying? So I say it's very worth it. That can honestly just win you fights if you're in like a 16v16, even if you guys don't have the best sets. I mean, you guys still need... this won't win you like 2v16s, okay? Or like 4v16s, like you're pretty screwed. But you know, if you guys are having like even fights and you want like that edge over people, I highly recommend trying this. Like, at most you'll be losing 3 enchants, right, on your weapon, which really is that... like, what else would I have on my axe if I didn't have famine, right? I might have bleed, which, does that do 10% damage? Not really. It kind of does nothing unless they're running away and you get, like, maybe it gets a couple procs that actually are useful to you during, like, a cough fight. And obviously, the people with the malnourished bows, if it's not working, you guys are seeing, like, okay, they're eating quite fast, they have too many people, you can obviously just go in and start fighting like normally. It's really not that bad to have. The famine also just helps in general, like every 20 seconds, like even if they're not being malnourished bowed, just having the famine attacks on them, you'll be losing, you'll have to slash eat like every like 30 seconds to a minute, which forces you to eat a golden carrot, because obviously the cooldown on slash eat is like a minute 30, so they'll be having to eat like 3 golden carrots during that time, and it gives you that advantage over them. Especially with the turkey mask, is what I'm saying. If you don't have the turkey mask, it might not be worth it just to use famine on them, but it's only 3 enchants, like I said, so it kind of gets some use out of it still as well. But you know, yeah, that's about it for the video. This is more of just a little bit of an explanation video, because I saw the potential in this, but obviously I can't use it that much, because, well, I'm a one-man gang, basically. I mean, we got a few members, but none of them play that much, except for Hunter. Hunter plays a little bit, And yeah, that's about it. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to use code QCY in the store if you're buying anything. Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.